Do you ever remember when gas prices were up to $50 every time you refilled? Well, have you ever wondered why gas prices have dropped recently? It's because of local oil fracking in the Midwest and nationwide. The Dakota Access Pipeline is a way to transfer the oil, but a lot of people don't know much about it. So here's some information. What is the Dakota Access Pipeline? Why the pipeline is a big deal, how we're involved, and the current and future damages, as well as what we can do to prevent the pipeline from getting out of control. The background information, according to DAPL pipelinefacts.com, the Dakota Access Pipeline is an underground fracking pipeline that will transfer crude oil from all the way from North Dakota through Stanley, North Dakota to Bismarck, North Dakota, Redfield, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Sioux Center, Storm Lake, Ames, Usglasa, Otama, and Fort Madison in Iowa, and Jacksonville and Patuca in Illinois. It will stay. As it goes through, it's 1,172 miles long and will be going under our Missouri River in order to get through. Why the pipeline is a big deal. As we all know, this land wasn't originally ours. It belonged to the Native Americans of the nation. And the reason why it was a big deal is because a lot of it, the pipeline basically goes through the reservations. And that's not okay to violate the law for the government to just do that. The Standing Rock Sioux tribe has decided to protest against it due to the fact that pipelines aren't very reliable and they can break at any moment, which will damage all of their water supply. And since we're connected to it too, and we get the majority of our water from the Missouri River, as the pipeline goes through the Missouri River as well, we'll need that as well. How we're involved. According to IWLA.com, the Missouri River provides most of the drinking water for everyone around it. It's a critical habitat for fish and wildlife, and any oil that will spill will contaminate the waters, will make millions of people unable to drink it. And we need water to survive. The current and future damages. According to thinkprogress.org, the company behind the Dakota Access Pipeline has spilled over 2 million gallons of drilling fluid in the Ohio wetlands. It's not ours. It's not the Dakota Access Pipeline, but it's still by the company, and they use the same fracking method to withdraw the oil and transport it. In 1,500 gallons in North Dakota spilled recently, and it contaminated a lot of the oil, the salt, the oil, the farms, and the environment. And many species had to be transported out. Another pipeline, the Buffalo Pipeline, spilled 19,000 gallons on farmland, and a farmer who made his living off of it lost 120 acres of farmland. And though it's a different pipeline, it is still similar and nearby. This is what I was talking about at the beginning. Energy transfer project that spilled 2 million gallons of oil, is and will be something that we need to think about. A lot of people don't know about the pipeline because it's not talked about in the news due to the election that's happened recently. But the pipeline will be completed on May 14th. That means they've already made 1,172 miles all the way from North Dakota to Illinois. What we can do to oppose it. A lot of people, since it's nearing the end, a lot of people aren't that willing to protest against something that's ending. But we still need to be aware of all the greenhouse gases that the oil will contribute to it, all the air pollution, and most importantly, the Sioux tribe. The Sioux tribe is dealing with a lot of hate due to the fact that they did protest the pipeline. They camped out and protested around the building of the pipeline, but the nation's government sent a big army to push them back, and they were withdrawn. They were charged with obstruction of government and unlawful passings, and violence. But the police did bad too. They were in full riot gear and using non-lethal weapons at lethal distances, and many people got hurt and injured. But though they didn't get care right away, they were sent to hospital. They were sent to the jail for a while, and they had to wait a couple days in order to be bailed out before they were released. What we can also help, for what we can do to help prevent this from happening again, or to stop this from happening now, is that we can call our local governments, our governors, our senators. We can donate to this cause at the omens.com, and you can get a free shirt or a t-shirt for $25, and all of the proceeds will go to green energy, more focusing on green energy. In conclusion, the recap. We went over the background, what the pipeline is, and how it's made and what it does. Why the pipeline is a big deal with the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. How we're involved, since the pipeline crosses directly across Iowa in such a large amount. And the current and future damages that the pipeline has and will cause, as most pipelines aren't guaranteed to non-spill, though the company in charge claims that it will not. And lastly, what we can do to help. In conclusion, we're the younger generation. We need to stand up for our earth, as the future generations won't have much of it left. We need to prepare for the worst and prevent it while it starts, while it's happening, before it's too late. Thanks.